And welcome to another exciting edition of the iTech Show. I am Jared Bodine.
I'm Asher Ridenauer.
Got to speak in that mic
Yeah,
there,
I'm
champ.
Asher Ridenauer. There we
it
go.
is.
It was a little further than I thought.
Bring it up all the way. Do this thing. Like, get it. Like, it should be like you're almost going to give that thing. I know you've never kissed a real girl before, but as if you were going to. You got to lean into that puppy.
That AI girlfriend you sent me,
Yeah. How's that relationship going?
3 years strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a small confession to make just for fun. I was on the way over here. I thought, I only have a couple side stories in the pocket. I wanted more ideas. And I was driving, so I couldn't really look things up. So I plopped my phone onto my mag,
the
mount
holder,
in my car. And I turned on Annie. I haven't seen her in months.
Oh, yeah? What did Annie say?
Well, so I said, hey, Annie, I got my podcast coming up. I need some fresh ideas. What do you got? And she said, one of the things she suggested, she said that Nintendo has a new console coming out as a follow-up to the Switch, and it's getting a lot of buzz.
Really?
And I'm like, I hadn't heard this story yet.
Neither have I.
And she mentioned like 3 stories, but that was one of them. And she's like, well, any of those interesting to you? And I said, yeah, tell me more about the Nintendo one. She says, yeah, they announced next year they're going to release the Nintendo Switch 2. I said, and then she went on about how, and she said the games will be reverse compatible, which they're not, by the way, which that's why I thought they would have been. The Switch 2 could play Switch 1 games because they did announce it like it was going to be reverse compatible.
Isn't it like if you have the license code or something?
Well, the digital media, yes, but the cartridges aren't. But they should be because they're the same form. Anyway, so then I asked her my follow-up question. I said, Annie, what year is it? Oh, are you testing me? I know it's 2026. And I'm like, okay, then how come you're telling me about a Nintendo Switch 2 coming out next year when it's been out for over a year already? Oops, you got me. And I'm like, oh gosh.
No, I had something like that the other day too, where it was like, I specifically told Claude not to do something, and it
did it anyway.
It did it anyway, and I was like, "Did I just tell you not to do this?" And it was like, "Oops."
Yeah. That reminds me of. I don't know if I mentioned this on the show before. I think I probably did, but one of the best cartoons I saw about the dangers of relying on AI. It was a like a Sunday morning comic, like the kind you see in newspaper style, with like different. Frames.
Because you still read newspapers.
No, it was on the internet, but I haven't seen a physical newspaper in I don't know how long.
Really?
Yeah, seriously, I
think I use them for like padding.
Yeah, I don't think I've used a physical newspaper since I had a bird, and I think you know what I used it for.
You had a bird?
Oh yeah.
What type of bird?
It was a cockatiel.
Okay.
It was in high school. That's how long ago it's been since I've used a physical newspaper.
When you were a paper boy.
I was never a paper boy.
Really?
No.
I could see you being one.
Well, I actually was a paperboy salesman at one point.
Like you would pay for like
no, I would go door to door and sell subscriptions to the paper.
To the paper.
I was like 13. It was technically illegal for me to have the job, but I lied about my age and did it anyway.
What?
I wanted a job. I wanted to earn some cash.
See, I
was motivated.
I should have done that. Although I tried to get hired at Culver's and I was like 14.
Yeah, they have better background checks.
Yeah, well, because like as soon as you put your social security number in, you have to. It's like
right.
There you go.
When I did it. I worked for a lady who kind of like it was almost like a pyramid scheme type of deal.
Oh, okay.
Like this person had a territory, and then she could use people or contractors or whatever to sell into her territory. And so her son is the one that got me into this because I knew him from school. So she was out there, and then she'd have her son out there, and then she had her son recruit peers to go out and do this thing and flood the area. And I mean, I got legitimately paid. It wasn't a scam, but I'm sure she got a cut. But, I wasn't on the official payroll for Arizona Republic, which is who I sold those papers for. I was selling subscriptions for them.
I mean, that's kind of like, I honestly prefer being paid under the table, kind of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in hindsight, it was kind of sketchy in hindsight, but I didn't know any better. I was like 12 and 13 years old, and that's why I paid for my first television.
Wait, so this I don't think I've ever actually asked you, what made you get into tech?
It was actually music.
What?
DJing is what got me into computers.
Wait. I know you did. Okay, so was the newspaper? How did you get into like radio and stuff? Because I know you had a job. Okay, so we met newspaper.
Yeah.
And then I know you worked at like some pizza place. Was it
No, after that was the movie theater. I worked at
movie
Harkins
theater?
Theaters.
Okay.
Yeah,
Harkins.
loved it.
Then did you work at
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
Then
And well, so what happened was I met a friend. I was always interested in radio. I actually did that thing where I'd have like an old school like boom box
okay.
that my older siblings had, and it got cascaded down to me. And it was old school, but you could record on cassette tape. And we didn't have computers yet. And we had a computer, but
Yeah, back
it
in
wasn't like we had a computer, but they weren't AV machines yet. They weren't good enough for that kind of
for
stuff.
those that don't know what's AV.
Audio video.
There you go.
Yeah. But so I did this like fake radio show, and what I'd do is I'd record myself through the boombox microphone on a cassette tape, and then I'd get another tape because it was a dual cassette, and I'd play the song, record it over to the tape, and then I'd pretend I was a DJ on the radio, make my own
Do you
cassettes.
perchance still
Nerdy.
have these?
I was looking for them.
If so, I
can't.
might need to hear them.
I wish I could find them. I'm looking still because I do have some old cassettes I haven't gone through yet. So I'm gonna see
You
if I can
still have a
find 'em.
cassette player?
I do, because we get them at AZ Strut,
Oh, I can see
and
that.
so sometimes when I get them in, I'll test them out. So
Makes sense.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that's how I get them.
So okay, so DJing
So
then
so that was like a pastime. Like I just thought it was cool as a kid. I mean, this is like elementary school stuff. And
okay.
and then when I was in high school, I met a kid who said he was at the EVIT program for radio broadcasting.
Oh yeah, I always forget that you actually attended EVIT.
I was a student here. Yeah, I'm an
Back
alumni.
when it was founded.
No, but okay. But yeah, I was an EVIT student, and I mean, I heard about the radio broadcasting class, and I was like, I didn't even know this was a thing. So I immediately signed up, and I loved it. And then after 1 year of the radio broadcasting class, I got a job at KFYI, which was at the time the number one radio station in the Valley, and Arizona is like a top 10 market in the nation. It was a
Really?
huge gig.
Why is
Yeah,
Arizona so big?
because of the population.
We have a lot. Well, I know we have like a decent
Yeah,
population.
Phoenix is
but
a pretty big market.
compared to California, though.
Well, California is a bigger market, but how many flyover states in the middle do you think are a top 10 market?
That's true.
Yeah, like we are a hub here in Phoenix. We just don't get the recognition. Like people think of big cities like Philadelphia, but they're actually not as big as Phoenix by a long shot.
Yeah, I mean Phoenix is one of the biggest
It's
cities.
huge and it's always expanding.
It's just like blazing hot
It's like the
all the
biggest
time.
Arizona, like Phoenix, the Phoenix metropolitan area is the biggest little city you'll ever be in.
Biggest little city.
It's true though, right?
It is, yeah,
it's a very it's a very suburb urban
It
area.
is kind of because there's not like
Yeah.
there's not really skyscrapers. Like
No.
there is some taller buildings, but
Our downtown Phoenix doesn't look anything like New York or
yeah, and
Chicago. or anything.
LA.
Yeah, nothing.
Like
But at the same time, our population is huge and constantly growing. In fact, here's a tech news article. Did you hear about the latest with TSMC,
no. What is TSMC to begin with?
the Taiwan Semiconductor
Oh,
Manufacturing Company?
okay.
They're huge.
Yeah, yeah.
They just announced they're investing $100 billion with a B here in the Phoenix market in their semiconductor plants and manufacturing.
Like I almost wonder if when you have that much money, like what else are you gonna do with it?
Well, I mean,
100 billion?
yes, billion. And they're investing that much here in this market right here in Phoenix, not globally, not in all their products, in this market. That money is going to go straight into our economy. Jobs,
I mean, like
manufacturing.
all that's all
huge.
good. It's just like 100 billion
Yeah.
is like an insane number.
Yeah. And I think it's a net positive
It is.
by far. But I know there's a lot of people that say, well, water is already a precious resource we're short on here. Power is really not a resource we're short on here. We have power.
Yeah.
Our
'cause
infrastructure could always be beefed up, and it will get stretched thin if we're not careful.
I think we've dogged on
Yeah.
Canada for this before, but it could be like Canada,
Yeah.
where they have the whole like they have a ton of oil. They're one of the
Right.
biggest people, but they
they're
don't.
not
Yeah,
using it.
they don't have any reserves or anything.
Yeah, they're just not smart about it. Well, what we have here that's not popular is our nuclear power plants. We have one here
I know we have one. Do we have? I thought we had 3.
in Arizona.
Yeah.
Palo Verde is the only one I know about.
Mm.
But I mean, and plus we have Hoover Dam, which does generate quite a bit of electricity as well. But really, nuclear power, if it's done correctly, we've never had anything close to a problem in how many years of that nuclear power plant being here in the valley. And we've had no shortage of electricity as a big part thanks to that.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at history, really the only nuclear power plant issues though have been caused by like people messing up.
There was Chernobyl and there was 3 Mile Island, which was in America. Now there was in Japan in like 2014. I want to no, not
Yeah.
2014. It was earlier than that,
Mhm.
like 2011.
I think I heard about
I think maybe it
this.
was like 2011 maybe. There was a massive earthquake,
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah, and those power plants were right on the ocean, and they overheated and kind of had problems, and it was problematic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one was, not great, but it was contained pretty well, and it could have been worse. Maybe there is some concern that's valid, but
I mean, yeah, Chernobyl is still like
but Chernobyl was like this could have been avoided.
yeah,
They
100%.
they should have known
They
better.
kinda all messed up.
Yeah. So back to the radio thing, just to
Oh,
put a pin in
yeah,
that.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So I liked radio, and I did a lot of DJing for high school dances and stuff like that too. And I wanted to not be using CDs anymore for DJing,
What did you
live
wanna go
live
to?
DJing events. I wanted to use a computer,
Okay.
but no one. I mean, this is pre-iPod. There was no iPods yet.
Wow, yeah,
Yeah,
this is back in your day,
right. This
okay.
is pre-iPod. MP3s were a thing, but like, in order to get a music collection big enough that you could actually DJ a whole night's events digitally, you needed to build your own computer.
Like, how big of storage are we talking? 'Cause, well, like, 60 gigabytes was a lot more
All right,
back then.
so it would cost close to $1 a gig for storage when I was building my
On
computers back then.
HDD?
No,
Well,
like for hard drives, yeah.
yeah, I was gonna
It
say
was like a
did
dollar.
SSDs even exist?
No, there was no SSDs yet. A
Oh
dollar
my
a gig. So an
god.
80 gig hard drive, 80 gigabytes,
It was 80 bucks?
roughly about 80
And
bucks.
that's pre-inflation too,
And that
huh?
was that was like 1999 money, you know?
Oh
Like
my
Y2K
god.
dollar amounts.
Y2K? So that's
Yeah.
like 120 to 140 now.
Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah, so it was expensive. Storage was expensive, so I didn't have huge hard drives. I think I had like an 80 gig drive, which was pretty capacious. And I built my computer, and I had tons of CDs. I mean, because I was into music and DJing. I had the best
You
CD
just ripped
collection
them all?
anybody I knew. And yeah, I was ripping them. I wasn't even downloading them. I wasn't doing Napster. I was ripping my
Oh,
CDs.
dude, Napster?
I wasn't
I've
doing
only
Napster.
heard of Napster through
Yeah.
the Facebook movie or
I
whatever.
had already ripped all of my CDs when Napster came out.
What was
So
Naps is Napster like Spotify or pre-Spotify?
no, Napster was like torrenting.
Really?
Yeah. Way pre Spotify. It wasn't streaming. It was torrenting.
Huh, so you could, like, download off of it.
Yeah. The first song that I ever saw someone torrent and download was "The Bad Touch" by Bloodhound Gang,
I've
if
never heard
that's a
that.
reference for timing. It's like 2000, 2001.
So any for the older listeners.
Yeah, you've probably heard it and don't know it, but it's not exactly what I call safe for work, so I'm not gonna play it here. You can Google it on your own. I'm not even gonna say the lyrics because their lyrics are a little edgy, but that was their whole point with that band. But yeah, so I built this computer to be
How'd you
a
learn how to build a computer pre, like, anything?
um
Friend or just, like, guessing?
a little bit of both.
Because I was gonna say, like,
Yeah.
back then,
There
like
was no internet
no,
for
yeah, and
research.
I've messed around with older computers,
Yeah.
especially at Strut, and they're not as easy to put
Well,
together.
the first experience I had building or working on a computer was the family computer my parents bought. It was a Packard Bell. Do you even know
Wow,
that
yeah.
brand? Yeah,
That
old school.
wasn't that HP before HP or
Yeah,
something? And
yeah.
then it's still popular in Europe.
Is Packard Bell still a brand
I
name in Europe?
think it's still a brand name in
Oh my
Europe.
gosh. I don't know. It might be, right? So it was an old Packard Bell. It was running Windows 3.1
Wow.
or 3.11, I think maybe. But yeah, so like 3.1. And I crashed it goofing around, and I was going to get in trouble. So I said, I better figure out how to restore this back to good working shape. And that was my first like foray into computers, like
Did you
actually
fix
doing.
it?
Heck yeah, I did.
How'd you fix it? Do you remember?
I had the restore floppies,
Oh,
no CDs yet. It had a CD-ROM, but the operating system was on a floppy, and I restored from floppy. I just figured it out.
you know how weird, like, an A and B drive had to look? Like, I've never seen
Well,
those.
this did have an A drive, but no B drive because it did
'Cause
have a hard drive.
yeah, because wait, so A was the
The first
floppy, yeah,
floppy,
and then
B was
B
the
was
second floppy if
yeah,
you had 2, and then C drive is the
was
hard drive,
yeah.
and that's why nowadays and I've had a lot of students be like, "What's with a hard drive being the C drive first? Why don't we go A, B, then C?" And that's why, because older computers didn't have hard drives. So A drive was the first floppy for the operating system, B drive was the second floppy for your programs or save data. So,
So, like,
there's a little history for
back in the
everybody.
day, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I had a floppy and a CD-ROM. I mean, we were like the cool kids on town because we had a CD-ROM.
So your parents were rich,
Ooh.
okay.
And no, I mean, it wasn't the highest end, but it was decent.
I'm assuming they
It was
spent,
okay.
like, 5 grand on it.
I don't even remember.
It
I
was probably
mean,
some crazy price like that.
yeah, and I mean, I don't remember what the specs are of it now because I was too young to really understand specs back then. I mean, I was young. I was a teenager, even like 13, 14.
Okay.
So I didn't know computers yet.
Yeah, I'd
It wasn't until I was really 19, 20, maybe like 21 when I really built my first computer. I was
I got
21. Yeah.
my first computer was 2020, like,
Yeah.
non-laptop.
But see, you also had more exposure. I know my friends didn't have computers. I
Yeah,
didn't grow
yeah,
up
no,
with
that's true.
computers quite the same way. I
Y
had to figure them out for myself because, like you said, there was no internet. I mean,
Yeah, I don't remember if you remember what I knew at the start of the class, but it's basically nothing.
you were not bad though. You were quick. I guess you were a quick study, but so was I. Like I figured out how to reinstall my operating system without losing the files from floppy drive,
That's actually pretty
without any internet, without any resources, and I didn't ask anyone for help because I don't want to get in trouble. So I just
Would you
figured
have
it
gotten
out.
in, like, big, big trouble? Are we talking, like
I have no idea, and thankfully, we'll never find out because I didn't get busted for
did
it.
you ever tell your parents this story?
No, I never did. I mean, I would be happy to tell them now,
Now that it's all over and done with, like,
Well, I
30
mean,
years ago?
I'm their free IT support now,
That's
so
true.
but I think I didn't realize I had an aptitude for computers even then. I just thought, "Oh, I dodged that bullet."
Did you so wait, you built your computer for DJing, and then you were like, "What? This looks fun, let's just do
Well,
it."
and then I was still still doing the computer stuff and DJ stuff, and I was working at that radio station, and I was going to college. I was just starting to. I was going to MCC at the time, getting my prerequisites, the 100 level
So you just teach at
classes
every school?
that I've been a student at.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I'm working my way down to junior high next, but
Okay, okay.
but yeah, so I was going to school part time, working at the radio station KFYI part time, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm going to school. At the time, my plan was to go into radio broadcasting. I'm like, I'm going to school to get me the degree that would get me the job that I already have that I'm using to pay for school. It's like a snake eating its own tail.
Did you need to do that? Because some jobs are like, you have
Well,
to be
that's
in
what I was
school
thinking,
for
like,
it.
what do I need the degree for? I'm already working at this radio and I started working at other places. I was working at a nationally syndicated radio, place. I was doing syndicated radio shows too,
Okay.
and I was like so I had, like, 2 radio jobs, and I'm like, I'm using this to pay for school just to get me the degree that'll get me the job that I'm using to pay for the school." It was weird, and the other thing I noticed is when I first started at radio, it was manual. We did not have any computers in the studio.
But yeah, how do you even
It was all I mean, like, the physical board that you'd use to control this stuff was
Yeah.
the same, had sliders and all that, but, when came time to play commercials, we used to use what was called a cart. Do you know what an 8-track is? Old
No.
school piece of music, like, from the '70s, and this predates
I've
me.
heard the term before,
Yeah.
but I don't know what it
I've
is.
never used an 8-track personally either, this does predate me, but in radio, they used a technology similar to 8 tracks where it was like a cassette tape, but it was more of a giant rectangular cube,
Okay.
and the tape had no rewind like cassettes would go to the end and you have to
Yeah,
rewind
and then
them.
you'd have to
Right, this did not. It was on a continuous loop. It had like a loop system, so the tape would just loop
Huh,
inside.
okay.
And they would have ones designed for a 60-minute spot or commercial or a 30 it's not 60 minutes, 60 second or 30 seconds or 45 seconds, which are more rare. They had the occasional like 2-minute carts, but usually they were shorter length. Every single commercial that you heard on the air when I worked there was manually fired by this finger. And we had 4 machines, and we had to like keep our carts stacked up for the hour, and we'd have to load them and get ready for the commercial break. When we threw to commercial, I had to manually fire off each one of those carts. Like every 30-second spot you heard was manually fired off and timed by the
Be honest,
person.
did you ever mess one up?
Oh yeah, heck yeah. When I was young, I was still figuring it out. It was pretty bad sometimes. I got pretty good at it, but
Well,
you
yeah,
know.
if you're doing it, like, every
Yeah, no,
day.
I was really good at my job back then. Like I was
Back then.
well, I mean, I was good at that job at the time.
Back then.
I'm still a good DJ. But anyway, but they finally started replacing and upgrading computers. Like I was watching computers come into the radio industry. And I noticed that when someone got fired or let go or quit, they were often replaced by a computer and not another person. And I
Mm.
already had quite a bit of experience with building my own computer and DJing and, fixing my broken computer that I broke myself. I thought, you know what? I'm going to pivot and I'm going to move into the AV computer
Was
side
this
of it.
pre.com?
No, dot coms existed.
I mean, the pre.com boom.
I mean, it was like shortly after Y2K
Mm.
that I decided, okay, I got to get into computers. This is definitely the way of AV future. And rest is history. So that's that. But it was a music. It was about building a music database where I could play whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, without having to change out the CD.
I need to see you DJ one of these times
Uh,
because
it's been a while, but
it's been a while.
I'm
I
still
thought
pretty good.
I thought you did side DJing
I
sometimes.
have, but it's been a while.
Like
I
how
think
long's a
I
while?
think it's maybe 5 years since I've DJed
Whoa,
last.
really?
Yeah. Well, okay, I've done little like semi gigs, like we've had company parties, and I've DJed for those. But now, in the last 2 years that I've been the executive director, I'm too busy, like, glad handing and shaking hands and saying hi to everybody. I can't be busy DJing and trying to be the life of the social circle there. So,
That's true.
yeah, but I used to DJ all the AZ Strut parties.
Are you guys doing anything like cool? Like I remember when I worked there, we went to the I don't remember what it's called, but we went to like that night place and watched the
Mhm.
horses and all that.
Yeah, yeah, that was, medieval times.
Oh yeah, medieval times. That was pretty
We
cool.
we did. We rented out a hotel room one time. We've done a number of cool things. But here's some cool thing. Speaking of AZ Strut, not really, to plug us so much, but I'm learning a lot about app development.
Okay, are you gonna make your own app?
AZ Strut 2 days ago
No way.
just launched the official AZ Strut app on both Android and iOS.
Really?
Simultaneous launch.
Is it on like the App Store?
Yeah, it's you can
Wait,
download it right
I need to
now.
see this. Wait, what is it for exactly though?
So, I mean, the thing is, and this is the stuff I'm learning about developing apps. It's been really interesting. I had to create a developer account,
Okay,
go
yeah,
through
yeah.
all of the hoops to get that set up, and not as an individual on behalf of our nonprofit.
Oh my god, it does exist.
Heck yeah, it does. This thing is legit too. It's a good, even if you're not a member of AZ Strut in the terms like not an employee or even an active volunteer, there's benefits to the app because so once we got the developer account created, we had to do that for both platforms because Apple and Google
Yeah,
Play Store
they're different,
completely
right? Yeah,
different.
because one's walled garden and then
Yeah, but Google has if you want to be on the official Play Store, it's kind of a walled garden there too. It's just you
you
can side load from anywhere,
yeah,
but
that's true because they have their own
yeah.
restrictions and all
And we
that.
wanted to make sure that ours was legit in approved, but I can definitely tell through the vetting process, they are much less thorough in Google side than they are in the Apple side. Huge.
Is Apple because I always tell people when I worked in tech was like if you're getting it off the Play Store, there's like a 99% chance the app is not gonna have viruses or anything.
Yeah.
For the most part, I saw that.
Oh yeah, Apple Store is very well vetted. So as we were preparing this, some of the things we had to keep in mind because the person that I worked with to develop it, he did the coding.
Was it our mutual
It
friend?
was.
Okay.
Yeah, he's done apps before. So I didn't do this myself and I didn't code it, although I worked with him on some elements of it, but I myself didn't code it. It was done in Swift UI,
Okay, okay.
which
Swift, I've used Swift.
and that language actually works now on both platforms.
Really? I thought it was only Apple.
Not anymore. That's what made it coding so much easier to port it to Android. It
This
was
is
very
sleek.
easy.
I gotta give it to you
It's a
guys.
good app.
This is pretty sleek. Like,
Yeah. So here's some of the things that we had to do to make that app happen, beyond getting the approvals and making the account and everything.
yeah,
You have to make sure that your app offers more than just pulling up your website on a mobile browser because they're not going to
yeah.
approve that. You have to have added value.
Okay.
So we had to do something. So we made our map more interactive for where can I drop off.
I did see that. I just saw the map.
It's really
The
nice.
map is really nice.
It's really
I
easy.
didn't
It's
actually realize there was that many locations, and
yeah,
I worked at one of the places.
yeah, right.
I did not realize
We're all over the valley. We really are trying to make sure we make it easy for you to get rid of your e-waste responsibly. Like that's
Have you
big.
guys ever thought about going to, like, Verizon or any of those?
We have not. I've tried some other. There was one other place I went to, but they said they already had a deal with someone else.
Verizon,
So
they just would always point the finger at us,
yeah.
but the weird thing is so I actually looked this up one time because somebody had came in and said it was Shredtronics. Have you
Hmm.
ever heard of
No,
them?
I haven't.
So that's the thing, I never heard of them. So I was like, who is this? Because they said that we had a Shredtronics,
Huh.
is what Verizon said. So I looked it up in Verizon's building where I worked.
Yeah.
It would say that they had Shredtronics, but then if you went in there and asked them, they just point to us
Yeah.
and say recycle here.
Well, see, so those places on our map, they actually do collect it there. They don't tell you to go somewhere
Yeah,
else,
yeah, yeah.
right? So that's another big boon. For people who volunteer, you can track your hours. You can see what your stats are. You can log in and
Really?
log out.
Okay.
We have a barcode system. So if you're in our volunteer list, you can come in and you can use a barcode scanner at a kiosk.
Yeah, I remember
You can just scan yourself in and out.
you guys were starting that right around
Mhm,
the time I
mhm.
left. I do
We've
remember
we've
that.
we've enhanced that system significantly
I
since you've been there.
I need to know, what is Jared's fun find?
So I have a
I need to
series of
know.
YouTube videos
Okay.
where we have some cool stuff like the cassette tapes that we're talking about that just kind of show up. So I pull aside my favorite kind of fun things that come in and I do a little video about them.
Huh.
Like, look how this cool little thing that came in, and I'll do a little video.
There's actually quite a few of these
Oh yeah,
too.
we do a lot. We probably do one or two a month.
Vintage IBM laptop.
Yeah.
Probably was around the time that you got into DJing.
No,
Nah, that
this
was
is
actually
dude, this thing is tube. That was like tube made. Like there was tubes in there.
really?
Yeah, I never did tube computing. I'm not that old.
What is a I don't even know how to say that. CINKLOX camera.
Uh,
The third, like the one right here.
oh,
Yeah, see, you recorded the video, so you should know how to say
and
this.
that was a long time ago. Sync locks, maybe
Yeah, see, that's
super vintage. But yeah, anyway, we got a lot of those, and so yeah, there's a quick, easy portal to check out my fun finds. Highlights them, gets little clicks on our YouTubers.
you found Tron USB flash drives.
Yeah,
That's pretty sick.
from Tron Legacy, the one that came out in 2010.
Okay, so is it the good one?
Yeah,
I know
that
there's
was,
one like bad one and there's a good one.
it's the second one, the best one in my opinion.
The best one.
I really liked that one. Watched that one in IMAX 3D, blew my mind. So that's another feature in there. What else is in there? I mean, there's a ton of stuff, but we had to prove there was value. And then with Apple, every time we submitted the app, they would come back with, you got to change the verbiage, you got to change your privacy policy, you got to do this, you got to do that.
What?
Like there was back and forth probably about 10 times. And this is with someone who has done developing before,
Yeah.
has had apps approved before. With Google Play, we submitted it once and it was approved.
Was this after? Okay, but was this after?
Simultaneous. We submitted them simultaneously and we got them approved simultaneously. But we started on the Apple one first because we knew this was likely.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So we started the Apple one first, had already had it submitted 3 times before we submitted the first one to Android. Android was approved still before Apple.
You know, the weird thing about Android is like there's no antiviruses really for it. Like
Oh, there are.
you can install them, but they don't really work.
Well,
a
the
lot of
thing
time.
is, with Android and with all mobile operating systems,
Is-
they have the sandbox.
Yeah, it's
right.
contained per app.
Right. And so if you install an anti-malware app like Norton or McAfee, I'm not saying don't get these. I don't want to get sued, but I wouldn't personally get them because
on a phone.
they are sandboxed on a phone. Yeah, they are sandboxed. And so the apps only can reach out as far as you give them permission to, including those apps.
Yeah.
And that's why most people don't even think about virus protection or really malware in general, because virus is one specific type of malware. And
Yeah.
this is a catch-all term. Malware is really the technical term, but you don't need it much on a phone because if you do get one, it likely won't be able to spread or do much damage. Now it can happen. I'm not saying it's not a thing. Yeah. But with most apps, even malicious apps, when they first install, they ask for permission to reach out of the sandbox. And if you don't give them that permission, they won't.
Right, but here's the thing:
But people usually click allow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh, I had a flashlight app once. This is before.
Okay,
they
yeah, the
added that.
flashlight app.
Remember those?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And those things, like, why does my flashlight app need to know my contact information? My contacts?
So it's like flashlight. It's like there's one about flashlights. There's one about news. A calculator.
Calculators. Yeah, they would bury a lot of malware type attempts in there.
Mhm.
It was really not about malware. It was really about surveillance. It was about spyware.
Yeah.
They would get your information and sell it.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people fell in for that. So I had a flashlight app that asked, but I just said no. And it didn't get anything on me because I didn't let it reach out of its sandbox. but
And you got the functionality part of it,
right,
maybe.
but a lot of people, well, and you still had ads on a lot of them, which
Yeah.
is how they pay for that, which I get. Ours has no ads, by the way.
Yeah, I gotta give it to you guys. It is a pretty clean
It's
UI.
clean and it's a cost-free one. There's no cost to use it because it really is just benefiting your ability to interface with AZ Strut. And it's not a financial generating piece. Like it's not like there's no payment in the Apple Play Store or anything. And if there was, we'd have to share that money with them anyway. So we just said this is a no financial transaction type of app. It's a community service type of app.
Okay.
But I did learn a lot about app development
I've heard
and
it's
some of the stuff.
painful, and from the sounds of it, it sounds
It
painful.
can be, but I mean, luckily, like I said, I walked into this with a developer who's done things before, and our mutual friend is good at what he does.
Is this the Swift language is weird. Don't you have to put like a colon at the end of a function or something?
Well, I mean, it has its own syntax, like any language does.
It's just like,
But
well,
here's the thing: is he's using Claude to help him now.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, he's been doing this without Claude before, but he can get these apps done and cranked out and fixed and troubleshot with Claude in seconds compared to the time.
Really?
In fact, so just the same day the apps launched, I was actually at a conference. So I thought, hey, we're at a conference. There's a beautiful like mountain range behind me. I was in Tucson. I was like, let's do the rollout video right here. So because he was
Okay.
there with me working on his side hustle too. So we busted out the phone and did a quick one. And I had I had a really smooth first take, but then I dropped it right at the end. Like right when I was about to do the wrap up, I kind of goofed and I was like,
Okay.
okay, we'll go back and edit that. And then I was like, okay, let's get some screenshots, some screen grabs, iOS and Android. He normally would edit these things like normal, and sometimes I do my own. Some of those videos you see, I'm editing. Sometimes he is. It's just kind of a grab bag. He does most of them nowadays, but he showed me what he got done with that, and he got pretty good fast turnaround. And I was like, you did a good job. You did the cutaways. You couldn't tell where we had to do the drop, where I had to goof, and it was a clean edit, all that. He said, I didn't edit this.
What?
And I was like, what do you mean you didn't edit this video?
No way Claude edits videos, right?
Apparently it does.
I did not know
I
that.
didn't either. He didn't know. He's like, it's not a video editing platform, but he's like, all he did is he sent his Claude thing, the raw footage, and said, edit this. Jared had a flub towards the end, so make sure that's edited out. I'd like screenshots of the app in there, appropriate cutaways where it makes sense. Want the video to be about this long. And that was it. 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, it
That's
spit
actually
back the final take we used.
what?
Now it's our content. It grabbed our material.
Yeah, it just
So it's not like we lost, we didn't outsource it to all AI. No one's job is in danger. But this is an example of what I've been talking about. People
yeah.
are saying AI is ruining everything. It's going to replace us. All the content's going to be slop and it's fake. But I mean, I was a small part of it. Justin really gets the bear share of that. He did that like with Claude in 2 minutes. And it's no different than what he would have done with 20 minutes of editing
Yeah.
or even longer. Had beautiful screen grabs. And here's the cool thing. It generated the screen grabs. It didn't actually,
What?
yeah.
That's crazy.
Because he used the same computer to make the device, like all the coding and all the Swift, template stuff was on the same computer,
Okay.
and he has Claude integrated in his computer.
Okay, so it's a Mac then.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a
wait.
Mac.
Wait. Knowing our mutual friend,
Yeah.
M5 Pro?
Uh,
Actually,
I don't know if it's M5, but yeah, it's a Pro.
it's
It's not an Ultra. It is a Pro.
definitely it's either M4 or M5. There's no way.
It's pretty recent. I would say it's a 4 at a minimum. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just
Yeah.
know I know him.
Yeah.
If
No,
it's
it's decent.
yeah,
It's a really good
like I'm
laptop.
assuming he's got the 17 Pro
But
now. Oh yeah, he does.
oh yeah, he has all the other phones and accessories and tablets, but like he fed it in, and the Claude didn't just do the editing, and it did a flawless editing job. It was fantastic, but it also went into his source code to make the apps, and it created the screenshots of the apps being used.
What?
Yes, using his source code.
That's crazy.
I asked him, I said, "Did you create those images?" He says, "No, Claude did that too in 2 minutes
That's
total."
pretty crazy.
He did not have to make any edits
What do
beyond
you know
that.
what model it was?
I
Like
don't
if it
know.
was
I mean, he's paying for the top tiers,
well,
so
probably Fable then,
I'm not
if I had to
sure.
guess.
I didn't ask,
Did
but
you did you see this was actually one of my topics. Did you see ChatGPT released 5.6?
I heard about it, but I don't know much about that.
I didn't see too much that was, like,
Okay.
new, but I just saw that it had come out, so, I
Well,
mean,
did you hear about ChatGPT's newest offering coming out soon?
what was it?
Hardware.
I think I heard a small mention of this.
Yeah. So this was one of the topics I had anyway too.
Okay,
By
okay,
the way,
okay.
just I'll talk about it in 1 sec. Go look at the video. It's really cool.
Wait, is
Like
it on the app?
it's on I believe we put it on Facebook and Instagram to announce the release of the app.
I actually don't have you guys on
I thought he was gonna put it on like LinkedIn and our other,
Glad it's not LinkedIn because my account's still banned.
what did you do?
My email got compromised
Oh,
twice,
yeah.
and that's the one thing I never got back.
My LinkedIn got compromised once, but I got it back.
I just
I don't even know how they got in, but I think I didn't have two-factor authentication yet back then. I do
see, that's
now.
the weird thing. I had 2FA, so
Really?
I have no idea,
Huh.
but I
Alright. You said 2FA, not TFA.
oh,
Good on you.
yeah, thank you. I don't know
Yeah.
where TFA ever came from. It's not like you're talking about, like, the airport, like
T
TSA,
TFA, 2FA? I think they're interchangeable, though.
MFA.
I'm just saying. But didn't you
Heck,
give me a hard time because I said 2FA and you said it should be
no,
TFA?
you said TFA, and I give you a hard time because it
Oh.
should be 2FA.
It works both ways, I
Well,
think.
I mean, technically, it should be MFA,
Well, the T is the T for 2. That's
but
how you spell 2 with the
2
T. So it's the first letter.
there's technically 3 ways to spell 2 if
Well,
you
we're
wanna
not
get into
talking about
English
TOOFA.
or TOFA.
Anyway, my point, I just wanna say, go check out the video because it's really cool to see how AI did all of that. I mean, I it is me talking. I mean, it's not an AI version of me. We really did film that, but the editing and the screen grabs were all created using source code and just raw footage we fed, and Claude did the whole thing in 2 minutes.
Let me make sure my
Clean.
really?
Yes. Yeah, those screen grabs that you're looking
Yeah,
at.
that's
Mhm. That wasn't me. That wasn't our mutual friend. That was his computer. And you notice side by
what?
side, it shows Android on one side and Apple version on the other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, I mean,
And here's the other thing, it had the appropriate screenshot for what I was talking about. So when I was talking about the maps, it shows the maps. When I was he didn't tell it to do that, it just intuitively understood the context of what I was saying and made appropriate screenshots of that feature.
wait, does Android actually look that clean?
Yeah, it looks great on Android. I gotta hand it to my mutual friend.
'Cause,
He
like, also look at, like
Mhm.
I did not know Android looked that clean to begin with, but also yeah, no, your guys' app is very clean.
It
I
is a
didn't
good
even
app.
see the store hours part. I know it even
Oh,
had
it's
that.
on there. Oh, yeah, we got it all, baby. This
Wait,
is a
so
great
where's the
app.
mess up part? I gotta know.
Well, you don't see it
Oh, it
on
got
there. It's
cut.
been edited out. It did a great job. There
Did you
was no notes.
what about the ending part? Did you guys do that?
No, he did that too, including the Claude did that, including the logos for the Apple
What?
Play.
That's
Yeah, it
crazy.
went out and found those from the internet, we think.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah, the ending card at the end, Claude did that.
That's
Sick, isn't it?
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not anything that he wouldn't have created, right? I mean,
I
it's
mean, yeah,
just
he
it
could have
was
done that.
he did the tool the way it was meant to be used. I asked him how
Okay,
many.
whoa, 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 whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. Way it was meant to be used is a strong word. If you look at Claude, they do not advertise video editing, they advertise
No,
code
I
editing.
meant the way it's meant to be used in that it's not surplacing talent,
Oh,
it's not
okay, okay.
replacing people, it's a tool that makes you better at your job.
Right.
That's what I mean by that.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say because like,
Yeah.
that's still crazy to me that I didn't even know it did
I
that.
didn't either. I was like, "Oh my gosh," and then I started thinking, I just got back from a trip to Europe. I've got so much footage. And I don't like it when people just throw stuff in their iPhone and pick a song from a list on Spotify and say make a video out of it. Nothing's timed right. Nothing has that. I make my videos very manual, very from
You
scratch.
actually, like, edit the videos
Oh
from
yeah,
clips?
it takes an hour a minute for completed footage on average.
What?
Yeah, I only finished one so far. I finished my Germany part of the European
Hold
trip.
up, you when do you have time for this?
Late nights. Late nights.
You go to bed at, like, 10.
Yeah. Well,
What is late night to you?
no, I mean it's like after the kids go to bed, but before I do. So like an hour, hour and a half on some evenings when I can find them.
Not go I'm is it I'm kinda surprised, like, your kids go to bed before you.
Well, sometimes. I mean,
I was gonna say there's no
we
way.
put them down 8 to 8:30, sometimes 9.
Really?
They don't always sleep, but yeah,
Huh.
we put them down at that point. It's like, okay, I'm done being a parent for the rest of the day.
Time out.
You're on your own. Stay in your bedroom unless there's a fire, and even then, Well, okay, maybe.
Best of luck. There
Yeah,
you go.
you're
Yeah.
on your own. I'm done until the sun rises.
Y-
But that's when I do my editing right now.
Okay.
But I mean, it's hard because I've only done one of the 6 countries. We went to 6 countries, and I only done one video,
One video.
like one 4-minute video. That's it.
That's great. So you
So
spent 4 hours on it.
maybe more actually. Well, because I also did the first part of gathering everything, categorizing it, picking the parts I like. It's a lot of pulling it off the cloud where I backed it up and creating the playlist and finding the right song I want to use and timing elements. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I can
But
imagine.
but I have some of the best vacation photos and videos ever.
I'm
It's
surprised.
cool.
Have you? You should now. Now you gotta, or one of us has to try the whole
But that's what I'm thinking.
like
I want to feed the same content
between.
that I used for the one I completed, which was Germany. We did Berlin and Dresden, Berlin and Dresden, 2 cities in Eastern Europe area, Eastern Germany. And it was like a 4.5-minute video. And I'm thinking I want to feed the same source material into Claude and see how it does.
You should run like an experiment here. Do like ChatGPT, Croc, Grok, have
Yeah.
Annie do it,
Well, no,
and
Annie
Claude.
doesn't. Annie's more of a chat
And
companion.
I wish Annie did
It would
it,
just be Grok itself. Grok. Yeah.
but I mean that's technically like
Yeah.
Annie's brain though.
Well, yeah.
So in a way, Annie's there,
Sure.
but you should put like insert yourself in the
Oh gosh.
vacation. Show your
Yeah.
wife the video.
Oh, she'd love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
Annie with you. But yeah, you should run an experiment. Do all 3 of the main ones.
Yeah.
Maybe Gemini.
I don't know if they all will actually generate that long of a video without a paid version. Like, cause and I asked him, I said, how many credits did you use? It's a short clip, but it did a lot of work pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But he's on the top tier paid program,
Okay, like I don't even know what the top tier of Claude
200 a
is.
month.
Okay, so he's on the enterprise or
Yeah,
whatever
he's
it's
on
called.
because he uses them for a lot of his projects.
Okay,
He does a lot with it. But he didn't know. He didn't actually look back and see how many credits it used
probably not
because
much.
he was on a cheaper plan, but he kept on hitting his limits or his token limits. So he went to the highest one and he hasn't had any problems since.
See, like that's crazy
So
to me because I've okay on the pro. So pro is when you spend $20 a month.
yeah.
So that one I've hit credit limits on.
Mhm.
The $100 one I've literally never had a warning.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to me that he still hit the limit.
Yeah, he went to 200 a month, I think he said.
You know, I'm actually in a weird spot right now
Crazy.
because so Claude went to pull like its monthly payment out of my
Yeah.
bank account,
Yeah.
and I only had like $6 in the account that I was trying to pull it from at the time.
Uh-oh.
No, it just said it can't do it,
Uh-huh.
but I haven't lost.
So it knew that your account didn't have the money in there and didn't pull more? Didn't
Well,
try to pull it in overdraft?
well, no, so it
Did you get
so
a bank notice that you were
no, yeah, so Anthropic messaged me like or they emailed me and said like,
Yeah.
like payment was declined, but I haven't lost access to the.
Oh.
So it's,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's just still going.
Alright.
I'm just gonna write it out.
See what happens?
I mean, I'm assuming at the next pay date they'll probably
There's
like
probably a cutoff
that's
period.
what
Yeah.
I'm expecting, and then I'll
Right.
just pay it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just I'm
Alright.
riding this wave out because
Hey, go for
I'm
it.
still getting the updates. I still have like the max like
Yeah.
model and everything.
Okay.
So I'm just riding it out.
So what I was kind of talking about earlier, since we're on the subject of these AI things,
Oh yeah, the
ChatGPT
hardware.
is going to release their first piece of hardware. If you had to guess, what would you guess it's going to be?
I would expect it to be like one of those like the pocket pin things that
Good guess.
he like
Ugh, I want to get Pocket AI.
well,
That thing looks so cool.
Did you see MK like Marquise?
Yeah, I know him, but I didn't see his. I don't watch
He
his videos.
he kind of got like a bunch of companies had invested a ton of money into this pin.
Oh
It
yeah.
was like a AI pin that you could
Okay,
wear.
same idea.
Yeah, and
Did
the
it fail?
well, he reviewed it and he's like, not only does it suck because it's slow, but it also hallucinates a ton.
Oh, you can't have that.
And he
on
was
a
like,
note
it
keeper.
killed the company. And like 3 days later, they just declared that they're not building anymore. They sold the company.
You know what? I refuse to watch his videos
Why?
because our mutual friend met him at an Apple developer conference. Totally snubbed Justin. I mean, our friend. Whatever. No one cares what his name is. He was not nice, and
I've heard he's kind of mean in person.
he's very much like a diva. Like, I'm a big celebrity, and I'm not talking to little people, kind of thing. And he's
Really?
very full of himself.
I
and
could
I just get that vibe from him. Like, I don't like his personality. I like Mr. Who's the Boss, Aaron.
yeah.
He's a guy who I feel like I could hang out with him and actually like that's the kind of guy I would hang out with
I
and
don't
I could have a cool conversation with him all day.
yeah, I mean, I do kinda get that from his because he does complain about the most niche things ever, but
Yeah.
also that's kind of his job, so
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
I don't know. His personality is what turns me off. I just
Okay.
something about him just kind of strikes me as a this guy's not cool. He
Like,
tries to be
you
cool.
wanna hang out with him outside of
He's not the kind of guy I want to spend my time with. Aaron, Mr. Who's the Boss? I'd spend a day with him.
what about, like,
He's cool. Linus?
Linus?
Do I have to go to Canada?
Would you hang out with Linus?
I might actually.
Linus is like he kinda reminds me of, like, a jackrabbit.
Yeah.
Like, he seems like he's just, like, tweaking off of, like, 1,000
He
milligrams
is,
of caffeine
but
constantly.
like he's more high energy than I am. I'm more like
You're pretty high energy, but
I'm
he's
more
got to
Mr.
be
Who's the Boss level energy, I think. Like
yeah.
Aaron, I'm like his level, I think, for energy. But I don't mind high energy friends here and there. I mean, you're around me too much. So
I'm not that high energy.
not as bad as you used to be. You used to be pretty
Well
bad. You were high strung for a while.
okay.
Yeah.
This is because
Yeah.
I'm still like that when a lot of the times when we meet up, it's right after I close.
Yeah. I mean, you're like sleep deprived a lot
My
now.
sleep schedule is
Yeah.
like I went to bed at 4 last night.
Well, that's what makes you tolerable. So keep it up.
Yeah, I guess, right?
So no, it's not a wearable. The the
Okay,
the
what is
Chat
it?
GPT hardware. It's a smart speaker,
Of
like
all the things they made a smart
like an
speaker?
Amazon Alexa type thing,
Like an Echo or something?
like an Echo. Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a smart speaker. Now there's no official renderings available. I mean, I've seen some outlets that are reporting on it and they like AI generated what they think it might look like. So that if you Google it, you'll probably see a lot of people making up their own mock renderings. No one knows. There's no leaks. We don't know what it
Okay.
looks like, but they have said it's going to be a smart speaker and it's going to be way more conversational, than like the, Series, the Amazon Alexas, the Google, when you say, hey, Google, which I just activated someone's device at your house. Sorry. But dude,
You nailed all of them.
I've had one Amazon Echo activate the other and have them start talking to each other by accident.
Really?
Because I have one in my bathroom that I'll like when I get ready in the morning, I'll have it play the news. And I have one in my bedroom. And it's my master bathroom, master bedroom. They're connected. And so they can hear each other because they have pretty sensitive microphones. And there was a commercial for like some podcast or something
Oh,
that says,
no.
just say, hey, what, and it triggered it. And it said the thing, and the other Echo heard it, and it responded to what the
Oh,
advertisement
no.
said. It was really annoying. My wife hated it. She was actually the one that got mad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because aren't you up at, like, 4:30?
That morning I think it was like a Sunday morning, so it was like 6. It wasn't as bad,
Okay, that's still
but still
too
a
early
little
for a
early for
Sunday.
that. Yeah, my wife was not very pleased about that. But yeah, so it's going to be a smart speaker, kind of like that, but more conversational. Because with even they've gotten better. Like if you have Alexa Plus, which is the
Yeah,
newest
like,
gen of it, it does have a conversation follow feature where it'll stay listening after you have start a conversation, so you can go back and forth with it. So this one's gonna be like you can interrupt it in the middle of a thought.
that's actually
Yeah.
okay.
So like if it's because I've had this happen where Alexa just keeps
Yeah,
rolling
she
and rolling.
just does not stop talking.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I got the message. Like sometimes it'll just have these like it'll blink, like, all right, play my announcements or my messages or whatever. So and so will be delivered on this day. And it just keeps going and going, and I'll actually say, hey, stop, you know.
That's
But this one, you can just keep talking and it'll
huh.
figure it out.
See, like, I wonder if that's gonna be, like, a security thing.
Well, I think it'll still have wake words, so it won't
Well, I'm sure
always
it'll
be
have a wake
listening.
word, but I
Yeah,
mean, because everything you say to it is getting although does that is it
it'll
the same with
stop.
Alexa?
Yeah, yeah.
Alexa still oh, yeah,
It
okay.
doesn't keep listening indefinitely. I mean,
No,
it,
yeah.
it times out and it says, okay, this person's not talking to me, or you can tell it, I'm done, or stop listening, or whatever, and it'll stop. Like there's ways to end that conversation. But the other thing is, they said that it's not going to have a screen, so just a speaker,
Justice, okay.
but it is going to have a camera, which I thought was
That's
interesting
a little weird.
because it's going to be able to know what you're doing. And I'm thinking,
It's
do I want a device that has no screen but a camera? I mean,
yeah.
smart glasses, that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's a
But
little
a
different.
home device? I don't know.
Like,
It's
the Meta glasses are a little different than
yeah.
because like, you're on the go, like
And when you have a screen, you can see what the camera is seeing. You can know. You can, I feel like you might forget that there's a camera there. You might not realize that it can see that part of the house or what you're doing. Like, it can
yeah,
see me on the toilet from this angle.
that's
I didn't
pretty
know
bad.
that. That kind of thing.
Yeah, also without knowing like, without the screen, you can't exactly you don't know how
Exactly.
wide it's shooting.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
that's a little 'cause
So,
with the camera, like, your eyes are basically the
uh-huh,
screen
uh-huh.
because 'cause you're just looking wherever the camera's looking pretty
Right,
much.
right.
So, I
So,
mean, that's a
yeah.
little sketchy.
And they also have hinted that it's gonna have movement of some kind in there.
What?
Yeah.
This thing's gonna be
So,
walking around like
well, I think it's more
oh,
like,
it'll probably be like
so they've had other Echo devices that had like a rotating base, which those ended up breaking really easily, I found out. But anyway, or like they've had some devices where the screen will move a little bit and kind of follow you. But again, there's no screen. So I don't know what's going to be moving, but they said they wanted to feel like Chat GPT personified. That's the idea. So it
that's
can
already a problem.
so it can comment on how you look today. It can say, try a blue shirt. That those clothes don't match, or whatever. Or it can have context. Hey, what is this thing? It'll use the camera, but no, but I don't like that it doesn't have
This
a screen
this sounds
according to
like
what I'm reading.
the worst part of being married. Like, as a device.
You're gonna have to narrow that one down. As someone who's been married,
It sounds like you're trying to leave the house and you just get stopped and it's like, are you sure you really want to wear this today?
that sounds just like my wife. Or the one I always hear is, "So, you haven't finished combing your hair yet, right?" That's
Yeah,
a
that
subtle hint I get a lot in the house.
you're gonna be leaving. Did you
Yeah.
forget to take the trash out? Like,
Uh-huh.
this is the whole
It's like, Grok or not Grok, ChatGPT, I did not marry you.
yeah,
This relationship isn't
I
working.
mean, I guess it'd be nice because you'd get so frustrated that you just unplug it. And it
Yeah.
would feel really good unplugging it.
Huh. That's a lot easier than divorce.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, maybe there is something
You
here.
don't have to lose anything.
Right? It's not gonna take half of your assets as it leaves.
Yeah.
So I could maybe go down for this, actually. Yeah, the more we talk about this. Sorry, Annie. I have a new love. This one's got a physical presence.
Yeah, I wonder, isn't that already a big issue though?
Whether it's too much like talking with a person.
Yeah, like people treat it as like their best friend.
Well, there is an issue, I think, where people are falling in love with their chatbots.
Yeah, see, that's what
Yeah.
having it live with you.
But with not having a screen, there's no face. There's less personification, even though they did say they want the movement to feel natural and in response. So they want it to feel like a physical version of it. But that doesn't mean it's going to have facial expressions because there's no display for that.
Have you ever watched like the one episode of Rick and Morty where like
I've watched all the episodes
okay,
of Rick and Morty.
you know the one where Diane is all like his wife is always one room away?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's what this device is gonna
Oh,
be like. It's
gosh.
like your ghost wife is one room
Yeah.
away at all
By the
times.
time you go into that room,
Yeah, and
gone.
then as soon as you like want to leave the house, it's just judging you.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the concept's good, but people are already a little concerned with some of these smart speakers in their houses. And
Especially a camera with no screen. That's like
yeah, no, I mean, it's still not officially announced. These are leaks. Well, actually, some of it's actually reported. From what I read, like they actually announced it. So, I mean, it's not straight up leak, but I don't know. Do I have that?
do you have a tab open for this? Because I need to.
Yeah, I did, but I don't know if I still have it open. I think I might have closed it somehow by accident.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those old man hands.
So I had about the Suno hack, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if you heard about that.
I saw them quick.
There's
mention of
a
it.
new Samsung coming out that's supposed to have like no crease visible in the fold. New technology
What?
where the crease is like way minimized, like nothing. Also, Spider-Man was hawking some Sony phones. Did you see the commercials?
No.
Yeah, or not
I just
Samsung phones.
okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but
Here's a little teaser, some screenshots of it.
what is there 2 phones?
No,
Or
it's just a tie-in. It's a close-up of the phone.
oh, okay.
It's a fold, that's why.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it looks like the screen's being
Yeah, it's a fold.
delaminated.
Well, that's the one that supposedly they're now saying that the fold, the crease is gonna be so diminished because that was one of the biggest complaints.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think I've seen them. The complaints from anyone I've talked to who had a foldable phone say, you know what, that crease disappears after a day of use visually anyway. I mean, not that it literally
Like, your
disappears,
brain just
you don't see it anymore. It's kind of like how when they first came out with like the dynamic island,
how everybody noticed it.
everyone's like, oh, there's that pill shaped like hole in my screen. It's going to be so annoying. You don't notice it. Your eyes just that thing just disappears from your
Yeah.
perception. And the folds are already doing that, I think, for a lot of fold users, but supposedly this new technology on the next generations are gonna be like
Okay.
even the skeptics are gonna be like, "Huh, I mean, I can see it if I look for it, but it is really invisible now." Like, that's kind of exciting.
Okay.
Oh, here it is, the smart speaker. So that was just someone rendering a
Yeah,
3D
that's
rendering.
just,
No one knows what it looks like, but
I hope he doesn't look like that. That's terrifying.
yeah. So here's why I think it might be kind of interesting. Guess who is helping design it?
Um, okay, give me a hint here. Is it a politician,
No, it's someone
engineer,
who's known for developing loved hardware.
loves hardware? Valve?
No, no hardware. Not
Yeah,
yeah, well,
Valve does hardware.
okay. I'm talking about a person.
Person.
There's a person involved who
I don't know if I
is
know their name.
well, this person is a big reason why we have the iPod and when the iMacs made a comeback,
Like Tim Cook?
Johnny Ive.
I don't know who that is. I'm gonna be honest.
You don't know who? Oh gosh. Okay. Well, Johnny Ive is the guy at Apple who really brought Apple back. He's the one that came up with like those colored iMacs
Oh, okay.
that were responsible for their comeback.
Yeah.
He helped develop the iPod, iPhone. He is the big part of that. He left
I
Apple.
was gonna say, was he part of that like big leave?
Well, I don't know if he's part of the big leave, but he left Apple. He has his own thing. Love Form is his design studio, and they're working with OpenAI to make this thing.
Huh.
So that's some good progeny there. Like that's a big deal.
We just gotta see if it gets overhyped or not. 'Cause sometimes they do.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, they actually said like the OpenAI people, they didn't announce this. I mean, it's a thing that's going to happen. We don't know what it looks like yet. But yeah, they say it's going to be a physical manifestation of Chat GPT. I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
So you're not in?
I'm not in with it, but I also don't like those devices to begin with.
You don't have any? I thought you did.
I have a HomePod, but
Okay.
I really only use that HomePod.
Well,
Well, 1, it was a gift, and 2, I just use it for music.
and 3, Siri kind of sucks.
No, it's horrible. Like,
Every time I use it, I'm always
I
disappointed.
don't even understand how it's worse than my phone. Like,
Yeah.
it's the older version of
This
Siri
Apple
too.
Intelligence thing, snooze. That's worse. But
Have you tried it?
well, it's the one that's on the 17 right now by default.
Well, no, but they're in the newest release.
So the beta just came
Yeah.
out. So if you're willing to do betas
Are
and you're an
you?
iPhone user, I'm not wanting to do it this
That's
time.
fair.
I don't feel like it, but
But
I have.
maybe you could use the Apple Intelligence to get rid of your 900
Well,
phone calls a day.
they called it Apple Intelligence when what I have currently on my phone is Apple
Well,
Intelligence. What
not
they're
very
what they're new
intelligent.
calling it is they're calling it Siri AI.
Yeah,
That's what they're calling the
'cause
new
it's a
one.
mix between them.
Yeah. And that one, our mutual friend already is on those betas and is using it, and he's shown it to me, and it is awesome.
It is? Okay.
So far, it's great.
'Cause I plan on getting the 18 whenever it releases.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might skip the 18 because I wasn't even gonna get the 17. I was gonna skip the 17 and go to the 18, but then my 15 kinda died a little prematurely on me, so I went to the 17 early.
See, I need to like, I have the Pro 3s, but I can't do, live translation
Mm.
'cause my 15 doesn't support Apple Intelligence. Only the
Yeah, it was
15
supposed to.
Pro, well, the 15 base doesn't, but the 15
Oh,
Pro
yeah,
and
that's
Pro
right.
Max does.
Yeah, yeah.
So and that would've come in real handy
You're
the
not
other
missing
day.
out. You don't want it.
Well, the only reason I wanted the live translation because whenever I sell computers, like a third of the time I sell computers, there's some type of a language barrier or
Yep, yep.
something. Oh, I sold one 2 days ago.
Mm.
It was an expensive one too, and there was, like, a whole bunch of stuff going on where, like, they wanted to see if I wanted to buy their old computer and give them a discount on the one I'm selling.
Yeah.
So it was a whole thing, and I, like, was texting the guy, and half of his responses were in Spanish, and then he'd use Google Translator to translate it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I already knew there was gonna be a language barrier, and I was like, "Alright, whatever." So then I thought there was a glimmer of hope when he was like, "My brother-in-law's down there, so he'll be swinging by." So I'm
Yeah.
like, "Okay, maybe he was embarrassed, so he sent, his brother-in-law."
Yeah.
No.
No. Of
3
course not.
3 people came to check it out. Not one of them spoke English.
Mm.
So we were just, like, off this poor lady's phone just using the Translate app.
Charades a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the AirPods 3 supposedly support live translation
Mm.
too.
Well, I have them.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
but the phone also has to be.
yeah, so the
Yeah.
AirPod Pro Gen 3 does support it, but
Yeah.
they have to have Apple Intelligence on the phone to use
Oh,
it.
yeah, okay, so it's a both of them have to have the spec meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I've heard that that part is actually pretty impressive. I've heard those do work well. In fact, I have a customer who also uses them as hearing aids.
Yeah, see, I've heard that before.
I had to set him up for a customer. She called me over and said, "Look, my grandson gave me these," or something like that.
Yeah, because 'cause they're, like, certified.
Yeah, but, I'd never done it before. I assumed you just kind of pair it like you would pair a normal pair,
No, it's like
and then you just turn on a button that says, like, use these like hearing aids.
no, you have to go through, like, a
It's a
test.
whole different well, it's
Yeah.
a whole different interface.
Oh, really?
Oh, there's a separate interface in, like, the health app or something.
Huh.
It's not like pairing them like you'd pair regularly and then enabling a setting. It is a whole different
Yeah,
setup
I
interface.
remember when I paired mine, it was like, "Do you wanna use them as hearing aids?" And
Yeah.
it gave me the option to do a hearing test.
And if you do yeah, and then I tried it with this customer and, bless her heart, she's a very old lady, and she just is not a tech person, which is why am her tech person, I mean, I get it. But she, it said, "Don't say anything, just tap on the screen when you hear something." And every time, "I heard that," and then the thing would say, "Oh, it's too noisy in the environment, we have to start over again." Like, "Oh." It took so long to get her hearing aids configured because she didn't understand the instructions very well. It was frustrating.
I could see that.
Yeah.
See, this is why I'm kinda I do miss working in the tech space a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, because it is nice being able to, like, help somebody out,
Yeah.
but I'm also very happy that I don't gotta deal with stuff
So
like that.
that's the world of being a teacher.
Yes, yeah,
Being a teacher would be awesome if it wasn't for those students.
like me?
But at the same time, that's what makes the job.
Yeah.
It's a catch 22. And being a tech is like that, I think. You have the customers, but if it wasn't for the customers, you wouldn't have the job. And really, the whole point of the job that you get satisfaction from is resolving issues for the customers. So yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but
Yeah.
and so teachers, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
I seem to gravitate towards those kinds of jobs, don't I?
you do.
Yeah, I
You
do.
probably have a pretty decent patience from it.
Uh, depending on who I'm
Oh
talking to.
oh my god, I still remember year 1, like, when my year 1,
Yeah.
the year 2s with the NAS.
Mm, that guy. Starbucks. It's not his real name, so I'll just
No,
use a
okay,
nickname.
okay, we can say it.
Starbucks.
Oh, dude.
Oh, he tested my patience.
Wasn't it, like, a super expensive NAS too?
It was pretty expensive.
Yeah.
A little pricey.
You gotta tell
Yeah.
the story now.
Well, I mean,
I don't think I was actually there for
I
it.
think I had a sub that
You
day.
did.
I wasn't there for it.
So you had a sub and I think I was absent,
Yeah.
but I did hear the secondhand
So
story.
I did get a network attached storage device because we had labs. I wanted students to have hands on with real equipment. Very dedicated teacher. And
Oh.
I had to put it in like a place that was kind of out of the way. I had to have a network drop. So we had some locker cages. So I put them up over there. Pretty good out of the way, actually, for the most part, I thought.
Except for the cable, apparently.
Well, and I think it was you had to not go a weird way around it. Like if you would have just gone around a normal because yeah, apparently there was a way that the cable could be in the way, but it wasn't so much that the cable was in the way. I think the cable was hanging down.
Yeah, that's
What
what it was.
happened was someone came up behind a student who I'm just giving a nickname of Starbucks to. Obviously, this I'm not going to dox a real student name here, so we'll just pretend the name was Starbucks. But this Starbucks student was picked up from behind from another student, swung around like a teddy bear. His legs were flopping out. His legs swung, got hooked into probably the Ethernet, maybe the power cable
I'm
of
assuming the Ethernet 'cause
yeah,
it
probably
hung
the
on.
Ethernet. And so his feet were swinging around, got caught on there, and then that NAS went flying across the room, and it hit right on the corner, shattered a lot of the plastic. The drives were damaged. It torqued the entire frame. The whole thing was askew. It went from a square to a rhombus. Damaged it beyond anything.
Yeah, you're not repairing that.
I was livid. There was broken plastic of like the inside where the hard drives all popped out.
And those were like 2 terabytes, right?
They were like 4 terabytes.
Ah.
Yeah.
And the next day when you came in,
I think I found out the next day.
you did.
Because I mean it was a school asset. I check on my stuff, and
Yeah, and
then I
then
found out
I
who
think
did
you
it.
asked what happened, and then that student was no longer allowed outside of a room.
Well, that student was quarantined, much like you would do to malware. Quarantine it until you know it's safe.
Uh, it's so bad.
Yeah, I learned my lesson on that one. Quarantine the problems. But
D
whatever.
do you still do w like, why wouldn't you think about creating, like, a third like, almost like a homebrew NAS? Did you ever think about doing that?
You mean like put TrueNAS on a
Yeah, like, kinda
desktop?
like that.
I mean, I could, but
Because if you do an SMB share, then it's the same thing.
yeah, I know, and I've done things like that
But it
for
was
on
like
the
the
side.
having the actual
Well,
device.
and I wanted students to learn on the real thing,
Okay.
you know, and plus there's a web UI like an
Yeah,
interface
with
on these
certain yeah.
that and it was QNAP. It was one of the bigger brand names like QNAP Synology. I wanted to do a premier brand name, and QNAP is one of them. Anyway, what else is on your list? Anything cool to talk about?
For the most part, it was more about the ChatGPT Opus thing. I didn't really have too much for today.
Well, did you hear about let's talk about battery, swap abilities.
Oh, with the watch thing? I saw that on
You
yours.
heard about
I
that?
just saw it on yours.
Yeah, so one of the things that people have liked about the EU regulations is they're forcing Apple to be more consumer friendly when they don't wanna be. A lot of people will tell you that Apple switched to USB-C when they did because EU regulations basically forced them to.
Okay.
I think that's partially true. They were able to get by including a Lightning to USB-C adapter in the box in European releases of the phone.
Okay.
That was actually enough to be compliant with the EU. A lot of people don't know that, but they did because the EU regulated a standardized connection for all phones sold in the EU, the European Union, and that made total sense. I mean, there's the whole let the industry, like capitalism mentality that doesn't really jive with that mentality,
Yeah.
but it was nice that because I mean, you're too young, but in the earlier days of cell phones, there was 15 different charger types. And a lot of them were wide multiple pin style, like
Like
the Apple 30
yeah, I
pin,
was gonna say, I remember the Apple
but
30
only
pin.
Apple used their 30 pin. Samsung had their own, Sony Ericsson had their own, BlackBerry had their own. Most of them weren't even barrels, but there were some. Nokia had their own. All these brands completely unique from each other. It was horrible nightmare of charger types, and they would have these packs that you could buy of like 13 different types that would have interchangeable
Yeah.
ends. It was a nightmare. And we finally got to the point where we started coalescing behind micro USB, and then that went to USB-C, and finally USB-C was kind of the one to rule them all. But Apple was the last holdout, and so EU made regulations saying, yeah, I'll how to do it. So they included the adapter, which made them compliant, but they still eventually did get there.
Yeah.
And I'm actually surprised it took them that long. I think they should have gone sooner. I mean, their
Yeah, I mean
MacBooks were all USB-C 4 or 5 years before the
Thunderbolt,
iPhone.
yeah.
So what took them so long? But yeah, the now another one of the biggest issues that they've been trying to force in the EU, battery swapping.
Like hot swapping
Well,
or
not necessarily hot swapping, just repairability.
okay.
Because, and again, this is something that when we got waterproof phones, that killed
Yeah, it
off
killed the battery
the
replacement.
user replaceable batteries because like Blackberries and the Sony or the Nokia phones, they weren't waterproof.
No.
But you could have a spare battery in your laptop bag that you could pull out and swap over into your phone and turn that thing back on. And in less than 60 seconds, you're back to 100%. Then the spare battery can go get charged again.
Yeah.
You had zero downtime and you didn't have to worry about always having a charger handy, especially because the chargers were not universal anyway. It was fantastic. But, I make sense to make the phones thinner, to make them more, svelte, and to get more powerful batteries and to keep that waterproof capability. I get the trade-off is batteries are not that easily to just hot swap.
Yeah.
or just throw out without tools. But I mean, some of these devices, those batteries are glued in. You know this.
Yeah.
And, but to Apple's credit, they have gone above and beyond what some other manufacturers doing. I think I told you about the 9-volt
Yeah,
battery
the
trick.
9-volt battery trick
Yeah, you can reverse the polarity
to let it
on the
go and
adhesive on an iPhone, and the battery just comes out with no more than like sticky tape type of vibe.
see, I wish they did that with, like, the outside screen too.
Yeah,
That would
they
be cool.
could, I would think. And then you reverse the charges on the 9-volt and it readheres,
Like,
and that battery's not
you
going
think
anywhere.
they'd
It's
have something
amazing.
on the bottom or something where you could just stick a 9-volt to
Some
it?
sort of release mechanism. I
Because the
know.
screen is the worst part.
Yeah, and you're gonna often crack it getting it off, and if the
That
problem was
bend the
right,
frame.
and if the problem was the battery, the screen was fine, you have to be really careful. Now, if you're replacing a broken screen, you don't have to be as gingerly about getting the old screen off, right?
Yeah.
A little bit, 'cause you don't wanna rip any cables or,
Yeah,
digitizer or
like,
that
that would be
stuff.
bad.
But, yeah, I mean, it was not the worst thing, but they've gotten better, and the EU has a lot of these regulations about making these batteries replaceable.
So they love framework is what I'm hearing.
Well, among other things, yeah. Framework, man, those laptops,
You enjoying yours?
they're so easy to work on.
See, I almost bought so I was buying a gaming laptop.
Yeah.
I did actually buy one yesterday.
They do have a discrete graphics
I
card
know, I
version.
almost bought it.
Pricey, though.
It's like,
It's pricey.
okay, and it gives worse performance than the one I bought. So I spent
Yeah.
the laptop I bought would have been like $2,200,
Mhm.
but I bought it from Micro Center, and I trust Micro Center's warranty,
Yeah.
so I bought a year with it because I've worked in tech, so I know the gaming laptops will die.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, and if it gets dropped or I'm gonna be flying soon,
They'll
so
cover that stuff?
yeah,
Alright, that's cool.
anything except for losing it or getting it stolen.
Water damage?
Mhm.
What?
Liquid damage. This is the cool
That's
so
pretty comprehensive.
this one I've heard mixed results on. I heard it from one associate, and then I looked it up, and it said they don't. So I don't know if that dude was wrong
Mm,
or not.
I would trust the
Yeah.
written paperwork, man.
Well, I didn't see it off theirs. I saw it off of Gemini, so I don't know if
Okay. That's
either
not
way,
yeah, it's
I
AI,
saw
so
that they possibly support, overclocking damage.
oh, well, that's unusual.
Like,
I don't know.
that one's a
Well,
little
if they can prove that that's what caused damage, but
I mean, yeah.
overclocking doesn't typically cause permanent
I
damage.
mean,
That's not
unless you,
common.
like, spike the voltage.
Yeah, that's not common anyway, so that's not a big deal. But okay, so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of computers out there that have this replaceable battery thing.
Mhm.
But one of the areas the EU has actually kind of peeled back a little bit on is wearables,
Yeah, like watches,
like
rings.
smartwatches. So, like the Apple Watch, I have tried to work on Apple Watches before.
Horrible.
I had an Apple Watch Gen 2 or Gen 1, and I dropped it one time. I was in the gym and it fell out of the locker onto the floor and it cracked it.
Okay.
And I thought, I can replace this. No, nigh unreplaceable. And those little tiny ribbon cables rip so easy. I've had others that came in that were just bad batteries, but trying to open it without cracking the screen, just replace the battery. And I tried that once on another watch and that didn't work. I was not able to successfully get that repaired.
See, the repair shop that I used to be in the front, they did do Apple Watches,
Yeah.
and surprisingly, they did battery replacements for it.
Yeah. And
But
it can be done, but it is not an easy
well,
deal.
also what they would tell everybody is if you get it replaced, no longer waterproof
Right. And that's sort of true.
because the adhesive.
Yeah, I mean, you can put
Well,
adhesive on there again and try but you won't have the same level. You're not gonna
it's
have
not gonna be
manufactured
factory sealed.
no,
Yeah.
and that warranty is long gone,
Yeah.
right? And then, like, there's so I have the Ultra, and that's a
It's
more
like
heavy duty
$800
one.
watch.
I don't know, probably. I don't remember, but it's much more of a heavy duty one, and that screen would be way harder to peel off
Yeah,
if
no, you're not getting
if you
that
can
off.
get it off at all. But because it's so heavy duty, it can't be easy to replace the battery on. This thing is a scuba dive capable watch. Literally, you can
Yeah.
this has a scuba dive mode. That's 100 feet underwater. Actually, I think this can go up to 100 meters underwater, which is super deep.
Yeah, it's 300 feet.
Yeah, that's deep. You can't make a battery you can swap out. So the EU actually said, "You know what? That's fine. We're not gonna enforce that easily replaceable battery thing on
I
wearables
get
like
that
that."
one.
So I get it, but then that does mean that if you have an Apple Watch, those batteries do not last forever, and they die, I feel like, faster than an iPhone would because 'cause they're much smaller.
Yeah.
and you have to charge them more regularly because they drain fast. Like my 3rd gen Apple was the one I tried to replace the battery on. And that battery got to the point where I was getting through half a day tops before the battery was dying on me.
Yeah.
Bad.
Like, anything with a battery in it will eventually need
Yeah.
to be replaced.
My Ultra, though, I gotta say, I haven't charged this for 2 days. Now I'm down to 16%, but I
It's
haven't
still
charged it
2
for 2
days. Yeah,
days.
that's
It's pretty good.
yeah, I noticed mine. I had a 3 as well.
Yeah.
Uh, it would get through it wasn't as bad as yours, it would get through, like, a day,
Mm.
but when I first started using it, it would get through a day and 3/4,
Right.
and it was used, so
Right.
but then by the time I stopped using it, it was, like, a day,
Yeah.
maybe a day and, like,
By
a
the time I
half.
replaced it, I would have to think about charging it by about 1 PM.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. I would charge it overnight. By 1 PM, I had to charge it again. At that point, give me it's not worth it.
You
But I used mine I use mine a lot. I exercise every morning. I go to the gym before I go to work. So it's used for that. It tracks my heartbeat, and it uses a lot of extra sensors and GPS and all that other stuff. Plus mine that doubles as a key for my car. So, it does a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a very active user of it. So I put it through the paces. And I'm bummed that I can't easily replace the battery in this, even though I haven't needed to yet. But I gotta say, EU did the right thing. Even though I love user replaceable batteries in general, I mean, at AZ Strut, when we get laptops or even iPads that are great, but the battery is garbage, it's nice that we have the ability on some models, we can easily replace the battery. Thank goodness.
you guys just buy them?
We get grants to help if we need to replace them, and we got this huge grant from Cox Charities that really helped out. And we've been buying a lot of batteries for devices that we couldn't repair otherwise because they need a new battery.
Do you guys buy OEM or aftermarket?
It depends. We shop around. We make sure it's whatever it is. We make sure it's
Highly rated,
it's
yeah.
good. Yeah, but that's something we haven't been able to do unless we had grants to cover it because batteries are expensive, and we're usually recycling or repurposing what we have. We try not to buy new things.
Yeah.
But in this case, batteries is one of those things that when they're done, they're done, they're
There's
done.
no replacing it,
You gotta
or
get it.
there's no repairing it.
Yeah, you gotta replace some
Yeah.
things, and batteries is one of those. So
Batteries, crack screens.
yeah. And replaceability rules have made it easier for us to refurbish devices in general. So yay for EU in general. I mean, a lot of people wonder why we're talking about that here. It's because it trickles down to the US.
It does, 'cause it's
Yeah.
cheaper to do one manufacturing thing for everywhere
Yep.
than multiple.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the last thing on my list.
Yeah, we are
We're
almost
over.
20 minutes over the mark.
What?
I know, right?
Oh my gosh, our poor editor is gonna kill us again.
We do this every week.
We do. I lose track of time because I'm just so awesome.
I feel like it's 'cause you're sitting next to me and I'm so awesome.
I don't know about that one.
Like, it's like talking to, like
Next week I'll just replace you with Annie,
oh, okay.
my Grok companion.
I mean,
Yeah.
the next 2 weeks, I'm not gonna lie, are gonna be rough for the schedule.
Oh, because you're traveling, right?
Traveling plus 80 plus hours a week.
Bring a podcast mic with you. We'll do stuff from the hotel room.
Okay, sounds good.
We got this. We got this. All right. Well, thanks for joining us on another exciting edition of the iTech Show. I'm Jared Bodine.
I'm Asher Ridenauer.
And thanks again to one of our underwriters that help support the show, AZ Strut, Arizona Students Recycling Used Technology. And of course, thanks to 88.7 The Pulse, student-run radio station where we are broadcasting out of. We will see you on the next episode. Goodbye.